Ladies and gentlemen, hello, and you are watching TTV News, some latest events in the province, and now come to details. Ladies and gentlemen, in recent time, the province has achieved impressive results in attracting investment and developing enterprise. Since the beginning of 2025, the province has attracted more than 30 domestic and international companies to invest.
To create favorable conditions for businesses to invest in TayNinhTV, the province has focused on administrative reform and improving the investment and business environment. Additionally, the Provincial People's Council has issued a resolution offering the land lease exemptions for projects that use land for production and business purposes in sectors eligible for investment incentives. Projects that meet the criteria for type, scale, socialization standards or operate on a non-profit basis also qualify for these incentives and thereby building investor confidence. As of the end of May of 2025, the province has nearly 740 valid domestic investment projects and close to 400 valid foreign investment projects. Furthermore, since the beginning of the year, TayNinhTV has issued new business registration certificates to nearly 370 newly established companies with a total registered capital of nearly 78.32 trillion Vietnam dong. And to date, the province has over 9,000 registered enterprises with a total registered capital exceeding 295 trillion Vietnam dong. And this results underscore the province's efforts in administrative reform and its commitment to creating a favorable investment and business environment, laying a solid foundation for the sustainable development.
In 2025, TayNinhTV province aims to collect over 13,000 billion Vietnam dong in state budget revenue. In the first 5 months of this year, the province has already collected more than 6,500 billion Vietnam dong, reaching 50% of the projected target. Despite signs of economic recovery, the outlook remains uncertain. The real estate market continues to struggle, and delays in auctioning local projects have led to lower than expected revenue in some areas. To achieve and surpass the 2025 budget revenue target, local authorities are focusing on resolving difficulties, improving the investment environment, accelerating administrative reforms, and promoting economic growth. They also intensifying revenue management efforts, combating tax loss, ensuring timely and accurate collection, and reducing tax debt, all aimed at meeting and exceeding the 2025 state budget revenue goal.
Amid complex developments in the foreign use of agricultural supplies in TayNinhTV province, the Provincial Department of Agriculture and Environment has issued an official directive to strengthen the state management over the crop varieties, fertilizers, and pesticides across the province. The department called on local authorities to enhance the communication and education efforts for businesses dealing with crop seeds, fertilizers, and pesticides, and they are to be informed about relevant legal documents and must strictly comply with the regulations. In particular, the people are advised not to trade or use banned pesticides and those not listed among the pesticides approved for the use in Vietnam or illegally imported products. Similarly, unregistered or unapproved crop varieties, unlabeled seeds, and fertilizers without recognized approval for circulation in Vietnam should not be used. The guidance will also be provided on the safe and effective use of agricultural supplies, and the Department Inspectorate is also directed to intensify inspection, especially an announced check to ensure the compliance with the regulations on the production, trading, and use of agricultural imports. Violation will be promptly detected and strictly handled within the legal authority or recommended for the further action if beyond its scope.
Ladies and gentlemen, in recent years, thanks to the local governance and the resilience of its people, Phường Commune in Yu Minh Châu District, TayNinhTV Province, has been undergoing a significant transformation. The development of effective agricultural model has brought new vitality to the region. Among them, durian cultivation is emerging as a promising direction.
Once a purely agricultural area, primarily cultivating cassava, rubber, rice, and short-term crops, Phường has seen a remarkable shift in recent years. Many households have boldly transitioned to growing durian, a high-value crop that requires significant technical know-how and financial investment. Recognizing this direction, the local government has supported farmers in establishing cooperatives and production groups, provided technical training and facilitated product distribution channels. The feed gap standard during cooperative model has begun to show positive results. Currently, student income, especially with feed gap standards, tends to have a more stable market price and brings good returns for the farmers. The Children Cooperative Improvement has 10 members, mainly drawing to popular varieties of Basic and Thai tuna. Having transitioned from cassava rice to children, these households have worked together to overcome initial challenges and find a safe path forward. However, the 2025 harvest season has brought a set of difficulties. Heavy rainfall and unpredictable weather have affected fruit quality. Global market volatility and unstable pricing have led to significantly reduced profits compared to last year. Despite this, yields are expected to return around 65%, with the children flex still meeting quality standards. The cooperative focuses not only on production but also heavily emphasizes technical standards and food safety. Members frequently exchange experiences in cultivation, fertilization, and pesticide use. The group also promotes safe and organic farming practices to meet export requirements. About 20 days before harvest, the cooperative meets to review market prices from major wholesale hubs in the Mekong Delta, Southwest, and Central Highlands. Based on this, members gather price information from traders and then agree on a common selling strategy to ensure stable and high profits. Although children prices have declined compared to the same period last year, it still brings higher economic value than many other crops. As a result, more farmers in the Khmer are switching to children cultivation. However, this growing trend also carries inherent risks. When residents apply to change crop or livestock types, we guide them according to the district zoning and planning. This helps avoid unregulated expansion of different planting on former rice fields, which could lead to overinvestment and unstable prices. Effective crop restructuring is a strategic direction strongly supported by local authorities. However, for it to succeed, farmers must make well-informed decisions when selecting new crops. Durian is a high-value crop, but also considered demanding. It requires strict technical care, large initial investment, and a longer period before harvest. Without proper preparation in terms of technical knowledge, financial resources, and stable market access, our investment could result in high risk or even losses.
Besides focusing on investment and industrial development, TayNin is implementing practical measures to connect labor supply and demand and support vocational training and create sustainable jobs. In May alone, over 1,900 workers received a job and vocational training consultations, with more than 1,500 successfully placed in the suitable jobs. And TayNin also continues to attract international talent. In May, the province issued work permits to 435 foreign workers, and nearly 250 of whom received the new permits to work mainly in industrial zones and foreign invested enterprises.
On June 7, the third or Giving Exchange Use Batteries for Green Plants program, organized by the radio and television station and TayNin Company Limited, with support from the Provincial Youth Union and 28 sponsors, received strong community participation. In just one morning, the program collected over 16,000 used batteries, 800 children's books and comics, and around 50 kilograms of plastic bottles and cans, reflecting growing public environmental awareness. The used batteries will be sent to a specialized facility for rubber disposal, helping prevent soil and water pollution. Donated books will be given to disadvantaged students in remote and border areas, promoting a reading culture.
The audience, the restructuring of the public administrative apparatus toward a learner, more efficient and effective system eroding heightened attention from across society. This is recognized as a revolutionary effort that will propel the country into a new era. Therefore, this part is not a matter of choice. It's an essential, urgent step for Vietnam to enter a new phase of national rise.
History does not wait for those who hesitate, as the country faces the imperative of transforming its role model, enhancing governance and reforming institutional frameworks. Streamlining the bureaucratic system is no longer an option, it is a necessity. And in fact, reality has answered the questions, should we reform the system? Many localities that piloted the merging of communes and districts have seen notable improvements. People now enjoy the wider, more spacious roads and well-lit streets. Residents are very supportive and pleased. One of the long-standing obstacles to development has been administrative fragmentation and the localized thinking. The province of merging provinces and communes and restructuring administrative boundaries aims to eliminate those invisible walls. The merging of provinces is intended to create a new driver of growth and new potentials and new spaces for the development. It's not simply the case of 2 plus 2 equals 4, but rather 2 plus 2 is greater than 4. And the consolidation of provinces like Cần Thơ, Hậu Giang, Sóc Trăng, and Bến Tre, Trà Vinh, Vĩnh Long into 2 new provinces will form a stable tripod structure ready to enter an era of prosperity and affluence. And this new strength will multiply significantly. Residents of the newly formed Bình Dương, Đồng Tháp, Vĩnh Long, Cần Thơ, and Hậu Giang will become citizens with access to both the seas and the mountains, and TayNinhTV will gain access to major estuaries connecting to the sea also. And the people from highland provinces like Gia Lai, Đắk Lắk, Lâm Đồng, and from the delta provinces like Đồng Tháp, Đồng Nai, Vĩnh Long will all become the people of the sea. An expanded Ho Chi Minh City will not only include its current boundaries along with Bình Dương and Bà Rịa Vũng Tàu, but also foster deeper integration in other provinces and cities, such as Đồng Nai, Tây Ninh, Đồng Tháp, Vĩnh Long, Cần Thơ, and An Giang provinces, and it's aimed to redesign the regional development strategies, maximizing each locality's unique strengths to form a synergistic whole that is the sum of its parts. The new Ho Chi Minh City will become a locomotive of development and radiating progress throughout the southeast, southwest, central highlands, and south central region also. And it is envisioned as an international megacity, a regional growth hub for global stature. If reform is delayed, the cost of maintaining an overly large and inefficient system will only grow, and if we hesitate, momentum will continue to be stifled by institutional and organizational constraints, and most importantly, if we fail to seize this moment, that risks missing a strategic development opportunity that lies before us, and the determination of the party, the consensus of the people, and the encouraging signals from reality are enough to power a bold transformation, and it is the part from which there can be no turning back.
Continue the program with domestic news. Ladies and gentlemen, on the afternoon of June 7, Prime Minister Phạm Minh Chính, accompanied by his board and the high-level Vietnamese delegation, arrived in Nha Trang, making the start of his official trip to attend the 3rd United Nations Ocean Conference. The visit allows bilateral activities in the French Republic from June 7 to 11, at the invitation of United Nations Secretary General Antonio Guterres and French President Emmanuel Macron.
As a special guest of the French President at the 3rd United Nations Ocean Conference, Prime Minister Phạm Minh Chính will participate in key discussions and related events such as Green Economy and Finance Forum and a Marine Science Exhibition. Notably, the Prime Minister will co-chair the World Theatre and Estuary Summit and deliver a keynote address at the plenary session of the conference. On this occasion, Prime Minister Phạm Minh Chính will also hold bilateral meetings with leaders of various countries and international organizations participating in the conference. These meetings aim to review and enhance cooperative relations between Vietnam and its partners.
And the Vietnamese company have recently signed 20 memorandums of understanding to purchase U.S. agricultural goods with a total estimated value of $3 billion. The agreements were signed during the business networking events held from June the 2nd to the 6th in Iowa, Ohio, Maryland, and Washington, D.C. as support of a strong delegation led by Minister of Agriculture and Environment Đỗ Đức Duy. The delegation includes nearly 50 Vietnamese agencies, agricultural businesses and associations aiming to boost trade and increase the imports of U.S. agriculture and wood products. And these memorandums reflect Vietnam's strong commitment and goodwill to promote balanced trade with the United States.
According to the Ministry of Justice, over 280 million public comments have been collected nationwide on the draft resolution to amend the 2013 Constitution with a 99.75% approval rate. Ho Chi Minh City led the country with over 1,300 cameras, seminars and forums, gathering input from stakeholders, experts and scientists, followed by Cà Mau, Vĩnh Long and Hải Phòng. This resource reflects real public consensus and highlights the crucial role of citizens in Vietnam's legislative process and in building a socialist rule of law state.
Ladies and gentlemen, the policy of streamlining the political system under the principle of being combat, strong, efficient, and effective has gained strong support and high determination from both the political system and the public. However, as seen around major national political events, hostile forces often employ cyberspace to read toxic information and false hostile narrative aimed at undermining this reform policy and attacking the party and state. Therefore, every citizen must remain alert, clearly recognize the nature of this distortion, and firmly reject and counter false, reactionary view and harmful content that threaten the reputation of the party, the state, and national interests.
Recently, the policy of merging provinces and cities has become a hot topic, exploited by various actors to spread distorted messages and sow regional division. On social media, many accounts have posted sarcastic and mocking content. Hostile forces have taken advantage of the concerns of some people who fear losing their hometown or losing their provincial name to spark debates, steer public opinion, and incite online conflicts. However, in the digital age, amid the achievements of the renewal process led by the party and the initial successors of the movement to streamline the political apparatus, Vietnamese people are no longer easily misled by deceitful narratives. For example, when Hatay merged with Hanoi, some people initially felt it was a loss. Our cultural roots, family traditions, they are not gone. What we lost was only an administrative name, not our cultural identity or ancestral heritage. Those continue to exist and grow with the country. Understand the sentiments of the people, General Secretary Châu Lâm recently emphasized the message, the country is our homeland. Implementing this policy will certainly affect the feelings and emotions of officials, party members, and the public. This is natural, as every Vietnamese carries cherished memories of their hometown. But in the face of new development demand, we must strengthen our mindset and broaden our vision. We must unite in thought and understanding, rise above ourselves, and put national interests above personal ones. We must overcome hesitation, regional bias, and psychological barriers to adopt a broader vision. The country is our homeland. Amid the noise on social media, what's most needed now is for each citizen to stay alert, recognize distorted narratives, and not fall for tactics that aim to sabotage and sow chaos. In a society built on consensus where people understand the true nature of the reform movement, such full rhetoric cannot shake the unity and solidarity of the people.
Ladies and gentlemen, that's all for today TTV News. Thank you for watching and see you next time.